Now I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. You know, you went from quitting as a freshman to learning from the coaches that you're a great athlete playing football as a sophomore to the tremendous season y'all had as a junior. Where's your confidence at as a football player now? Just having this really 2.5 years of playing organized football. Where's your mind state at right now going into your senior year?
Well, I felt real good going into my senior year. I mean, it was other things outside of football that brought me confidence too. Because, like I said, me and Royce, we ran track. So you found some of the better football players, the better athletes like Jamel. He ran track and he was pretty fast too. And Earl Billisley from the Wallace was in the area. He used to run track and we used to be competing back and forth. Like I would win some events, they'd win some events, and same thing with Royce. He was pretty much more dominant on the hurdles though. But you running against these guys, and you seeing that there's not a huge difference in athletic ability. So again, I just felt like why not me, and I can compete on that level too. So it was a combination of track and football that really brought the confidence to me going into my senior year that I can play Division I football, and hearing different things from the coaches and start getting letters at that time too.
Yeah.
Coach Peterson sometimes would take me, Royce, and Monica Maxwell. I remember a few times down to the NCAA's in Indianapolis. So we would be, in the pit with some of those guys that was running for the NCAA's. And you just how you see people and you size them up, like you hear their name, you like, well, let me see them, and you seeing that you bigger than some of these people, or just the same size, or they're not that much bigger than you. It's just being exposed to all that stuff makes it a whole lot, easier to gauge yourself. Also, you know what I mean. When you just seeing stuff through TV, a lot of times through TV things look like they're bigger than life, but when you get next to people in real life, so. Just that exposure too of doing different things with the coaches and stuff like that, and them just giving us exposure to things outside of East Chicago and like major athletics.
Gotcha. Now, what was the transition for you like going from corner to playing free safety? Did you actually feel free? Did you feel like it was less pressure on you? You had more time to roam because you was a big hitter, or what?
Well, free safety, I love playing free safety because there was a lot of room out there for me to cover, and I used to love to run, more than anything, 'cause at first I wasn't that much of a physical player. I learned to get physical by some of the teammates I had, Ping and Royce Love and stuff like that, and, I didn't play a lot of offense, so I used to be on the scout team defense, and sometimes I used to have to tackle them, so it was like, you was either going to come, or you weren't gonna, you was gonna get embarrassed. So, but free safety, getting back to that question, I really enjoy free safety. You can make a lot of plays at free safety, and then you had me and Royce when we used to be covered too, and it's like, I mean, between us two, man, we was covering the field. It's like where you was gonna throw it, without us getting to it. If you was gonna leave the ball up in the air, one of us was gonna get to it. No doubt about it. And Pachi and Kroom was at the corners, and Kroom, I know they give Kroom a lot of flack about getting burnt in some games and stuff like that, but let me tell you, the guy, he was a good boundary corner. He was a good fundamental cover two corner. If you was going to run sweeps or anything like that, the Kroom side, I mean, he was going to do his job. And you have that. You have some corners that are just not good cover corners, but they fit into the scheme of things as far as football. So, I mean, he was a good football player, so tell everybody, easy off Kroom a little bit. It wasn't that bad, but because he had two safeties over the top anyway, so it's like, but safety was definitely fun. And sometimes I used to play corner too. They would rotate me, but usually I played safety my junior and senior years, and that's the spot that most colleges was recruiting me for. Well, actually, they started recruiting me for corner. But I ended up playing free safety at Wisconsin too.
Is there a reason why you didn't play offense? I know like a lot of the best athletes to come to Central kind of went both ways. Right. Is there a reason why you didn't play?
My hands were terrible. A lot about it. I had terrible hands, man. Again, I was still just trying to learn how to play football. I mean, even when I got to Wisconsin, I was still wet behind the ears as far as just the game of football. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to know. But yeah, I didn't play a lot of offense, man, because my hands were just terrible, and I don't even know if my hands would have been great if we was gonna be throwing the ball anyway, because we had some running backs. Because Royce played my sophomore year. Me and Royce ran a lot of plays in and out of the huddle.
Yeah.
And that seemed like that's really what the receiver's job was when I was playing football in Central. Was to run the fresh plays in and out.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll run a little waggle here, try to run a post here and there, but I mean, it's like, why change something when they couldn't stop what we was giving to them the first time?
Yeah.
So we didn't even have to implement no passing game at Central, because they just couldn't stop the run. And I think as coaches, being older now, that it's a lot easier to coach and teach a certain thing, you know what I mean? Just running the ball, just the blocking schemes and stuff like that is pretty tough, So they were just teaching that. So why go and have to teach the passing game too, which would have been extra, for those players to know, at such a young age. So, the running game was vicious, and it really wasn't no need to have to put the ball in the air,
Yeah.
Didn't matter who they put in the box, we were still running the ball.
Now you have a career record at Central for the most interceptions, and you said you had bad hands. So what?
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
Hey man, I was around the ball a lot. I could have had way more interceptions than I did. I remember dropping a whole lot of them, but that's just how much area we used to cover at safety. It's like when they put the ball up, either me or Royce was getting to it, intercepting it, or knocking it down. I don't remember too many big plays happening in the secondary that year we went 10-1. I just really don't remember anything getting in back of us.
Gotcha.
And said we had two good athletes. We actually had four good athletes in the secondary. We had two really good athletes at safety, and me and Royce, and like I said, Kroom and Pachi was back there. And our defense, our defense that year, you hear a lot about the offense and Ping and Royce Love and Tom, and what kind of numbers we was putting up. But our defense was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like I said, I named the secondary already, and he had some good linebackers in Ted Compton and Royce Love. Kondo was a down lineman, and Big Donald Boyd and Avery Guy used to come in on defensive line, and I think Span was playing defensive line that year. But our defense was real good. Ping was our outside linebacker, and I want to say Angel was at the other outside linebacker, man. So we had like
good guys.
Oh my goodness! I mean, we had speed, and I mean, you got Ping at the outside linebacker. A lot of times the cover three of Royce was rolled up, and safety, it's like how you was gonna run both of those cats to the outside. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So we had a real good defense.
And before we get to your senior year, how did the coaches handle all the different characters? As you said, Ping and yourself, everybody being from different areas of the city. Did that matter to you guys? At the end of the day, end of the season, was you guys still buddies, or was it like, hey man, you from the Harbor, I'm from EC, I'm from Cali, man. This is we'll talk during the season, but was it still family?
I think it was getting better at that time, because Central went up in what, 87 probably.
Yeah,
so we're talking about the 91 season.
Yeah.
It was starting to get better, the relationships and stuff like that between Harbor and Calumet, because you had 4 years of existence already in Central, and they had to mingle no matter what.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it being any big time Harbor, Calumet stuff in the locker rooms,
Gotcha.
I mean, we were all playing, because Alf and Royce and them was from the Harbor.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever no problem. Man. We was all playing football, and we was all playing for the same cause at that time. So I don't remember any egos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I mean, if it was ever an issue like that, it had to have been at running back, and I don't remember it, because both, my junior year when Ping was there, he was a senior. I mean, him and Royce both got a lot of time, and I think they complimented each other. It wasn't, it wasn't a letdown, when Ping came out the game and you brought Royce in the game. It was like, well, Payne just popped a 70. Okay, Royce gonna pop a 90.
Yeah.
You know, yard run. It wasn't no letdown, and they complimented each other a whole lot. And I think they kept each other having fresh legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Neither one of them had to do it that year.
Exactly.
Neither one of them had to do it the whole game. Not saying neither one of them could not have did it the whole game, but they didn't have to. So
exactly.
that was the consequence of them sharing the ball. They both did well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.